Well, hey, good afternoon, everyone. I thought I'd just kind of take a little break on the back deck here. It's a Saturday afternoon. We've been doing some chores today. Got up, got some grass mowing done. Looks like my kids are lobbying me for Halloween costumes. You get it all figured out, don't you, child?
What?
Halloween costumes?
Yes.
And I know there's some people out there that don't celebrate Halloween, deeming it as like a pagan holiday or whatever. We kind of approach it. It's all on how you approach it, right?
We just go trick-or-treating.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have any kind of occult meaning for us, anything like that. It's all about just having a good time, getting together as a family. Usually what we do is we'll have a couple pots of chili going and hot dogs, and we get the cousins come over, and the family comes over, and then we walk the neighborhood and go trick-or-treating. Spend usually about an hour. I think from about 6 to 7, 7 to 8.
Yeah,
I'm trying to remember
1 hour or 2 hours, like from 6 to 8 or something, or maybe even 9 sometimes.
Yeah, so anyway, here, let's pan the camera over this way. Child, there you are. So anyway, we go out, just have a good time, load up on the candy and stuff.
Yeah.
Which we don't let the kids eat everything they collect. First thing they do, they get everything out, and then they swap and all that, and we check their candy over and make sure that there isn't any kind of like
when we want to eat a piece of candy, we got to make sure that it's not open or it's not like messed with.
Yeah, we make sure that there's nothing messed up about it or whatever. And then we let them eat on it for about maybe a week or two, and then
sometimes it's until Easter.
It depends, but basically we consolidate it down to maybe one little sack, and then the rest of it we usually give away to as a military care package. I guess there's an organization, Blue Star Mothers or whatnot. Anyway, they collect stuff, and you can donate it to the troops, and they send it overseas and whatever else with it. I mean, in general, it's not good to like load up on candy, sugar. I mean, we're on you big time. We're on all the kids big time about what they're eating, because it has a lot of negative effects, right? Depressing the immune system. Typically, because they don't eat a ton of sugar like that. If they do, like, what was it? When you guys went to the 4-H fair and Grandpa loaded you guys up on like funnel cakes and
then we went on the spinning ride,
candy apples and this, that, and the other. They were kind of out of it for a day after that. And Samuel, my son, ended up getting sick as a dog because he's not used to
and we had
all of that. Yeah, they had ice cream too. So anyway, all that to say is that we do celebrate Halloween strictly from a fun standpoint.
We don't really decorate our yard at all. We've never done that.
Yeah, we don't really decorate. I know people go all out. I think I heard some stat that it's like the second most like revenue generating holiday outside of Christmas, which is crazy. But I guess that's because of all the like Halloween costumes and decorations and all of that. So anyway, we set a budget this year for the kids. We're willing to contribute
$20 to our
$20 a kid to help them get whatever. And they've been mowing grass, and they've got little jobs and stuff, so they've got some money, and they're pretty good with money for the most part.
So
pretty good at saving.
They're gonna pay $20, but if our costume costs more than that, then we have to pay for it.
Yeah. So we'll probably order them tonight. See how things go. It's been a little bit of a challenging month with car repairs and stuff like that. We got the brakes done, I guess within the last month altogether. I think we got brakes done on the van, the front brakes done on the car, and then had to get the throttle body replaced in the car, and that was close to a $400 repair when it was all said and done. $350 I think altogether with labor and part, and that was getting the part at cost, not marked up, because we got a friend, Frugal Prepper, out there. He's an awesome mechanic. Consider him a friend, like hanging out with him. You know, it seems like most of the time I see him when doing stuff with the cars and all that, but great guy. Giving him some Brussels sprouts, things out of the garden, but he's saved us a lot of money. Does really good work. Real good guy. So what else you up to tonight, child?
Not much.
Not much.
No. I mean, we mowed a lot today, but. And we're going to the balloon festival, but.
Yeah, so there's apparently a hot air balloon festival over in Urbana, Ohio tonight. Actually, it's this weekend. We're gonna head over there about 8. I think they charge like $2 a person, and I'm gonna see the hot air balloons. It should be pretty cool, seeing them lit up at night and all of that. Probably take a lot of pictures. Earlier today, we went to. There's a lot of little festivals going on, being fall and the start of fall, and just there's a lot of neat little things going on. A lot of stuff is free. So we went to this artist showing deal, I guess, glass blowers.
Yeah.
There's a guy in town that's got a glass blowing studio, and apparently he's pretty well known, and he's got all kinds of art and stuff. They had food trucks and a couple different displays and stuff. So we hung out down there for about, what, 2 hours?
An hour.
Hour, 2 hours, somewhere in there. I think maybe it was about an hour.
Hour and a half.
Hour and a half. Went to the apple orchard last weekend. What kind of apples did we get?
We got Honeycrisp, Golden Delicious, Jonathan, and Cortland.
Cortland, yeah. We usually go once, if not twice, at least once in fall. And so this year those were the apples that were ready. And I think
We're probably gonna go again.
later this month we're going to try to go again, because my favorite apple will be ready, and that's wine sap. That's a really, really nice apple. So we're going to try to get some of those. But it's fun. We try to do little activities like that, free or low cost. I mean, think about it, you know, you might spend $50, $70 at like the apple orchard or whatever, but you're going to spend that eating out. Or you're going to spend that, you know, going to the movies. You're going to spend that doing, you know, other things other than being outside and kind of having fun.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, you want to see if Ruthie's got hers picked out?
Yeah, she does.
She does?
That's why I came out here.
Why don't you get with Mommy then, because she's got the shopping cart.
Make any sense.
Just talk to Mommy about Amazon.
Okay.
All right. It's kind of crazy. You know, so we're going to be ordering some stuff online. There's like Halloween stores in town, but they mark that stuff up like crazy. Last year when we were just taking a look at things, I mean, most costumes were like $45, $50. It was like crazy. They're only going to wear it for like maybe 2 hours at most, you know, and then we'll probably have to turn around and try to sell it. Do that. Though last year, I think, I don't think we even bought costumes. Instead, we had a bag of dress-up stuff that a friend gave us, that they had done a yard sale, whatever, and it was like old outfits and all that. So we kind of made do with that. And the cousins who we normally hang out with during that time, they were on vacation or something. Anyway, we're just trying to have some fun and spend some time. I went out this morning. My wife and I try to go out on at least one day a week. Try to do date night or breakfast or something. So we last couple weeks we've been going out Saturday mornings. Get the kids situated on breakfast where they can make whatever. And some of the kids are older. Like my daughter's, she's gonna be 17 this year, and my other daughter's 15. So I mean, they're old enough they can kind of police themselves, watch the younger ones. So we went out this morning to a little place in town. It's a relatively new restaurant. They're starting up, and I guess they're kind of how they're trying to differentiate themselves is that everything's like homemade or fresh, like homemade bread. They shop the farmers markets or whatnot, so they're cooking everything fresh. It's not like they have like these big food companies coming in and bringing in produce. The chef that kind of owns it, he actually goes and picks stuff out and all that. So anyway, we went kind of just talking about things, and I don't know if you guys can relate out there, but it's really easy to let your schedule or like the activities dictate your schedule and your time, and you end up so busy that you're not spending quality time together or with other people, right? And so we're just kind of talking a little bit about that, as family dynamics, because there's, again, we're a larger family, there's 7 of us, and trying to figure out a better routine on things. And so basically, comes down to bedtime, making sure everybody, especially the kids, get to bed on time, 8:30, 9 o'clock, so that they can get started earlier the next day, get their school, their activities, chores, making sure they get their chores done. A lot of it is like, it's similar to like gardening. Like and one of the things, like I remember back when we were in Indiana, that made the backdoor garden pretty successful, was that we had, kind of a method of doing things and kind of systems in place, so to speak, where everything was manageable, because you're doing a little bit each day. As far as like the weeding, just doing like a walkthrough and making sure that the garden stayed relatively weed-free, checking the plants, doing a couple different things to make sure that, that it was successful. And kind of same thing applies to things here at home, is just making sure that you got good routine about things, and we're doing a little bit each day. And it might be one of those things where we don't ever get everything, a single thing or everything done at once, but you're at least addressing everything you need to throughout the week and doing a little bit each day, such as like laundry, making sure we're doing a couple loads each day, cleaning up the kitchen, just maintaining things, right? Just doing a little bit each day, being consistent, and then it saves you time in the long run, because you're not stressed out about it. You're not having to invest this huge amount of time to do this massive cleanup or try to address all these, separately they're little things, but having to address everything all at once, and it'd be this big kind of crisis type situation. So anyway, we spent the morning kind of talking about that, because really the most important thing is other people, right? And being able to spend time with other people and not being so busy and caught up that you can't, there's no margin to do that. And so, eating dinner on time, it's little things, making sure you're eating dinner on time, 6:30, that you're cleaning up afterwards, taking care of little things throughout the day, throughout the week, so that you've got time then to spend with each other and with other people, right? So I don't know, those are some of the things that are kind of going on that we've been just kind of talking about, because again, the schedule's just been such a grind here lately, just trying to stay on top of things, and not getting to bed on time, not kids not keeping up on chores, and I don't know, things getting a little out of control where just not in a position to do anything, because you got to take care of things. I don't know if any of that makes sense, or any of you guys can relate to that out there. But again, stuff that we've been kind of just talking about and trying to get a better handle on. If anything, just to teach the kids good habits and a good approach to things, so that when they're out on their own, they're not living like pigs, they're not, or they're not just overwhelmed by the responsibility and things. They've got a kind of a discipline and a routine they're used to, and they're equipped, like teaching them skills, how to cook and how to do laundry and how to take care of things, so that they can be responsible for things, how to handle money. That's a big one that our older kids are learning right now. They're taking through the homeschool co-op Dave Ramsey course on financial wellness and stuff like that, and a lot of good principles in there. One of the things though that you gotta balance that with is, the main emphasis of that is on accumulating wealth and getting rich by, making good decisions and being smart about money and all that. And I guess the whole catchphrase is, you live like nobody else, so that later on you can live like nobody else, right? And that's a noble goal and something good to shoot for, but the reality is that that's difficult to live that way with the different pressures of society and just the cost of living, especially if you're on a single income. I know for us, we're doing good just to pay all of our bills, keep the kids clothed and fed, and being able to provide, some activities and structure for them and stuff like that. So anyway, I don't know if money is your focus, if that's what you're living for, is to accumulate wealth and to be rich, and you're about your possessions. That's not a very that's not sustainable, right? Because at some point something's going to happen, whether you come down with some kind of illness or disease, or there's a number of things that can happen that can disrupt that, where suddenly that really doesn't matter like it did. I don't know, I'm kind of rambling about all these things, but it's just stuff that we've been talking about and helping the kids navigate, and I guess to kind of land the plane, so to speak. The idea here is just making sure we're spending time, with the kids, spending time with other people, investing in that way, and being responsible with the little things, and having good systems and routines in place, so that things are sustainable, and it's not you're not operating. I guess there's another method, is the 4 quadrants approach to time management, which is a real good. It's a kind of conceptual model of managing time and stuff like that. And the idea is that you got important, urgent, important, not urgent, not important, urgent, not important, not urgent. I think those are the 4 quadrants. And the idea is that you want to live in the, I think it's quadrant 2, which is mostly planning and preparation. Like, things are important, so you kind of evaluate things and you kind of figure out what you need to do, and you kind of plan some stuff in advance. Not to where that's like the end all be all, but you're working a plan, right? You plan for things, kind of like maintenance on a car, right? You know the oil's going to need to be changed every 3,000 miles or whatever, maybe 6,000 if you're on synthetic. You know you're going to have to get the brakes of your car serviced ever so often, right? Probably at least once a year, depending on how many miles you're driving. So the idea is that you're in quadrant 2, and you're addressing things by planning, putting them on a calendar, budgeting for them if possible, kind of planning ahead, so that, again, you're not living in crisis mode. You're not having to be in this reactionary mode of existence where you're having to react to everything, and just your life's kind of disorganized, and you're operating from like kind of crisis mode. We know a lot of people that, for better or worse, maybe because they've never been shown that way, or maybe they've never had the luxury of, it's just difficult to slow down enough to actually plan and kind of get a handle on things. But we know a lot of people that are living hand to mouth, living paycheck to paycheck, crisis to crisis. They're doing good to have a roof over their head, and their main concern is like, where's the next meal going to come from, or how long am I going to be living here till I can't afford it anymore, or until something bad happens, things like that. So we're trying to get away from that, and trying to live more in quadrant 2 of planning and kind of preparation, and just getting a handle on things, so that I don't know, again, the goal is so that you're freed up, you have time to spend with people, and invest in relationships, and invest in the things that really matter. So anyway, those are just some things that are kind of going on, that we're addressing, kind of getting a better handle on, and all that good stuff. So I guess that's it for now. I'm gonna attend to some other things, but just wanted to make a real quick video live stream, see if maybe anyone wanted to jump on. So until next time, happy gardening, and see you later.